Meanwhile, in a small library in Dublin, an event that would change the world's track of time. Alright, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, just the library's track of time, but you get it. Anyway, was about to happen. A group of very restless and funny faced kids entered the so called best library in town, aiming to read the words of the world's most famous, intelligent, and unique authors there have been in history. Their names were William, Charles, and Oscar. As I have previously mentioned, they are very restless, and the combination of three little fidgety wild kids was not perfect for the out fashioned and bitter Miss Collins, the librarian. As some minutes went by, the three children found themselves playing and laughing in one of the many corridors of the big library. They were running around with a bunch of books they were excited to read, but the big grumpy woman scared them when she looked at them with her usual unfriendly face. As they were running away from her, they dropped the books they were going to take home, causing an event that would change one of the book's characters' life.
Ouch! What happened? What's going on here? This isn't my book. What the Bloody Mary am I? Hello? Is somebody here?
Now, where did you come from, buddy?
Ah! You're a talking ant!
And you're a talking incredibly pale wild little man, and I'm not making a huge deal of it. Jeez.
Alright. What's going on? Why does everything suddenly seem so big and quiet?
Well, you see, this is a library, buddy. It's supposed to be like that.
Wait, a library you said? I'm supposed to be in... Wait, I don't remember where I come from. I must have fallen out of my bloody book when...
Oh yeah, some kids were fooling around with a bunch of books a while ago. They're right over there. Follow me.
They walked to where the books were and saw they were five.
Great. Now, how am I supposed to know which one is my book?
Well, there's just one way to know.
Which is...
I don't know. You're supposed to be the human here. I'm just a hard-working little insect. Jeez. People want everything given to them nowadays, don't they?
You're really not being helpful.
All right, fine. Try to remember the color of your book.
Well, I do remember it being a dark one.
Well, then go and see. Get in it.
The mysterious character decided to get in it and see for once and for all if it was his book. But when he got in it, a weirdly sunny yard filled with colorful flowers and trees surrounded him. I pray you, Senor Unrecognizable, have not your dear mother told you before erupting into a lady's garden means no respect to her?
Excuse me, my lady,
Do not get mistaken, Senor Unrecognizable. I indeed know I am not your lady.
Well, anyway, would you be so kind to help me, madame?
My name is Beatrice. How may I be helpful with?
Well, I'm going to sound like I'm out of my mind, but a bunch of kids were running around with some books in hand, and they dropped them because they saw the scary face of the grumpy librarian, who made them run, and then I fell out of my book, and a nun told me to...
Betwixt numerous events, I must say, confused is a word I would use for my current state.
Long story short, I'm trying to find my book.
Oh, dear Lord. Either you're really out of your mind, or Benedict borrowed yet again a book he has no intention in returning. Benedict!
No, madame. I do not remember where I come from. Could you tell me, where are we?
Well, Signor Unrecognizable, our flesh and bones find themselves in Messina, the most glorious and beautiful place in all of Italy.
Then, if you're Italian, how come you speak English?
Well, you see, Signor Unrecognizable, the writer of this wonderfully fun story is the one and only William Shakespeare.
If I may ask, madame, what can you tell me about this book?
Well, you see, it is a thrilling story about love, betrayal, and fun discussions between my love, Signor Benedict, and me. But do not spread the word to him that I said that. He would flatter himself too much, and I need to keep that man under my control.
Well, if I'm honest, I'm still not sure. Could you be so kind and tell me the names of the other characters?
Well, I would love to, Signor Unrecognizable, but I am pretty sure you do not belong here.
Oh yeah, how can you be so sure?
Well, first off, I have never in my young but wise life seen such creature as you, a person so different from the people of Messina, coming here with no clue of shame of having ruined a part of my so very cared and beautiful garden. Second off, you're a foolish man to even think you belong in a place so beautiful as Italy. You are definitely not an Italian-like person. And third and most important, Mr. William Shakespeare would have never written about a character so foolish. He would not remember his own birthplace and or story.
Well, never have I been insulted in such way. I'm now aware my writer would have never written about a woman as rude and as...
Young man, you have no idea what you will into if you even say another word to this woman. If you do not believe me, ask everyone in Messina. I advise you to get out of this book as soon as possible before Beatrice says words that would tear you apart. Plus, you have much ado about nothing, apparently.
Well, mighty young man, I thank you for being honest and having stopped me from committing what apparently would have been a big mistake.
Please, it's mine.
All right, have a good life, Shakespeareans.
The mysterious character exited and found himself in front of the aunt, yet again.
So, how did it go? Was it your book?
Well, do you think I'd come back if it were?
Chill, buddy. I was just asking.
I was mistreated in there by a very rude woman.
Oh, I see you had the pleasure of encountering Beatrice, huh?
Yes.
Well, look at the bright side, buddy. You now don't have the harsh words of that woman like Benedict. Anyway, go to that other one in the back.
Why are you so sure my book is that one?
I'm not. It's just a suggestion.
Okay, I'll try it.
The mysterious character walked in a fast pace towards the book in the back, just like his little buddy told him to. This time, everything looked so different from the last book he was in. The first thing he saw was a huge smoke cloud and then the street, crowded. Everyone seemed so busy and bustling. People passed him without even looking at him. He saw a restaurant and immediately got in it, trying to escape all of the noise from the town. Inside the restaurant, he saw lots of men drinking and laughing, but there was a particular man that caught his attention. The young man was sitting in the right corner, away from everyone, immersed in his thoughts. The young man noticed him and immediately stood up and went towards him.
His clothes seem fine. He must be a noble.
I could notice you are new here. I deduced it from your appearance. Oh, how rude. I'm Pip.
I am,
He explained to Pip what was going on. He listened astonished.
Suddenly, a horrific man, growling, dressed in rags and with his legs in chains, jumped out from behind the gravestones. He ordered me to bring him food and a file for his leg irons. I obeyed, but the convict was soon captured anyway. One day, I was taken by my uncle Pumblechook to play at Sadie's house, the home of the wealthy dowager Miss Havisham, who is extremely eccentric. During my visit, I met a beautiful young girl named Stella, who treated me coldly and contemptuously. Nevertheless, I fell in love with her and dreamed of becoming a wealthy gentleman so that I could be worthy of her. I even hoped that Miss Havisham intended to make me a gentleman and marry Stella, but my hopes dashed when she decided to help me become a common laborer in my family's business. After years of working unhappily with Joe, one day a lawyer named Jaggers appeared with the strange news. A secret benefactor had given me a large fortune, and I had to come to London immediately to begin my education as a gentleman. I, of course, assumed that my previous hopes had come true, that Miss Havisham was my secret benefactor and that she wanted me to marry Stella.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm afraid I was completely wrong. You are indeed the main character of this story, and a man like me can't be part of such story.
And just like that, he walked away, leaving Pip feeling offended by his rudeness.
Did you really think I would come back if that was my story?
No need to make fun of me, Aunt.
Sorry, I had to do it. Anyway, if it wasn't your book, what was it?
Well, if I'm honest, I was quite bored and could barely understand the man's English. He was too explanatory.
Oh yeah, you're definitely not a Dickens character.
Well, what's with people telling me I don't belong to certain books or to certain authors?
Well, just say you really don't fit the characteristics.
What do you mean? I'm a white little man with literally no features.
Just forget it. Go and try another one whilst I look for some food crumbs around. I'm starting to get hungry.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight for the ends of being an ideal great.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please help me?
Oh, Jesus! You scared me, sir. What manners to interrupt?
I am so sorry, ma'am. I wonder if you could help me find the way home.
How can I help you if you just interrupt me? It's not enough. Well, sir, first of all, I am Madame, and so please tell me what you need, and you will have it. At least you won't interrupt me in that way.
My apologies again.
Well, now that you took my inspiration away, could you let me continue writing my poem?
A poem?
Yes. Yes, I write poems and I need a lot of inspiration because love is all I am. I miss my husband and he just went away from our house. Well, but you couldn't understand. By the way, let me introduce myself. If I am going to help you, we have to introduce each other. My name is Mrs. Elizabeth Barrett. Well, Mrs. Browning, in fact.
My pleasure, ma'am. For sure, you come from a well-off family because poor women are not allowed to read or even write.
Excuse me? Where do you come from? What a rotten mentality. Everybody deserves a chance.
Anyways, I haven't got much time. I don't remember my name or where I come from.
Surely you are really lost because if you allow me to say, here we just see life and love as beautiful. Love is all we need. Perhaps you are lost or you don't know what love is. That is sad and terrible.
Well, ma'am, can you tell me a bit about you? Just to see if I can remember something?
Well, I consider myself a romantic person who loves being loved. So I love writing about love, so I write about justice. So you are definitely not from here. I believe you wouldn't want to write beautiful poems like me and my dear husband. But if I'm mistaken and you don't need to leave anymore, you could stay here and come with me to my house. We have some tea and cookies you would love. Also, I have a cousin who is not married. Maybe you would like to get to know her because you are quite handsome.
Ma'am, I appreciate your help, but I'm really exhausted and I would like to.
My cousin, she's so wonderful. You will love her.
Psst, psst. The aunt interrupted the mysterious character and Elizabeth kept talking.
Hey! Psst! Pale guy! Here on the tree! This is not your book! Run away before Mrs. Elizabeth makes you her inspiration for a new poem. I think she starts to realize that you're the perfect man to write about. Come here!
Mrs. Elizabeth, I'm afraid I need to leave, but it was a pleasure to meet you.
The mysterious character and the aunt ran away from the book.
Can't believe I haven't found my bloody book. I'm so tired of looking.
Well,
Oh, you, shh. You haven't been helpful at all. First of all, you make me go with a rude but nicely spoken Italian woman. Then, you make me die of boredom with Pip's long explanations. And now, you made me go in with a woman so romantic that immediately wanted to use me.
yeah, use you as inspiration. Don't let her kill you from that.
You get it. I'm tired. I don't want to keep looking. What if I never find my book?
Well, you have two more options. Don't exaggerate.
Well, yeah, but what if none of them is my book? I'd be a white pale man all the rest of my days.
Just go and see the last two. See what you find.
The mysterious character got inside of the book that was the farthest, where, in the middle of a cold and rainy night, he got inside of what it seemed to be an abandoned mansion with an old German-style structure, big stained glass windows, dark walls, and an old ebony door at the main entrance.
I remembered having living in a mansion, but is this place my home?
After having taken the first step into the isolated place, several images came to his mind.
I can remember myself dancing in a fancy ballroom, surrounded by characters of high society.
Then, an overwhelming feeling entered into his heart.
Why in these memories? My memories. I feel so lonely.
There was a complete and disturbing silence all over the place. The mysterious character crossed the living room and decided to take a look upstairs. The closer he got to the last room of that long hallway, the more he could listen to the steps of someone else. Suddenly, a creepy scream escaped from that room. He stood still just a few seconds, but finally decided to find out to whom belonged that scream. As soon as he entered inside the room, he witnessed a disturbing scenario. It was the death. A madman who claimed to be sane had killed an old man who only had one eye. This heinous crime was planned with anticipation by the madman, who quickly removed the parquet floor of the room and hid the old man's corpse under the floor.
Who are you? Have you seen what I did?
Excuse me, sir. I'm a lost character who lost his memory and doesn't know how to come back home. Concerning the little situation under your floor, believe me, I won't say a word. My mouth is a grave.
I believe you. You don't look disturbed by the murder. I actually believe that you are a killer too, and that accent. You should be British, my friend.
After having heard the madman's words, the mysterious character was lost in his thoughts. He could remember a familiar death scenario.
Maybe that could be true.
Come here and help me clean this.
The mysterious character had no option other than to help the crazy man, with such ability to hide a body that just killers have. Before finishing hiding the corpse, the mysterious character took a last look at the old man. He found his appearance disgusting and repulsive. There was something about aging that bothered him so much.
If I have to die one day, I prefer to die young. I can't imagine myself losing my youth and beauty.
It was past midnight, and someone came to the door. The madman had just finished hiding the evidence. He was so calm, and with a little smile hidden in the corner of his lips. He was expecting visits.
Good night, sir. We received a call from your neighbors about a scream coming from this house.
Well, gentlemen, it was my scream. I had a nightmare. But come in, please.
This man is out of his senses. I'm sure about something. This isn't my story. And I don't want to be here when the police find out about the corpse.
The mysterious character decided to escape and continue looking for his identity.
No luck, I see.
Can I just give up already?
Come on, buddy. You have one more book. You won't give up at the last second, will you?
But
No buts, but yours in the last book. Come on, go.
The last book had been perturbing, but he had felt something inside him as if he was finally remember who he was. He walked to the last book, and that one was different from the others. Inside, there was nothing, just pure white adorning every single visible space. The mysterious character looked around to see if he could find a clue.
what's going on here?
Who is there?
The man turned around. In the distance, a figure was walking towards him. Once close, he saw a man with a prominent nose, dressed in heavy robes and a cane for simple decoration.
Who are you, and what are you doing here?
I fell from my book.
Whoever this man was, he looked at him closely for a moment before discarding the thought and shrugging.
Poor of you, so simple and plain.
What?
This can be your book, so go away. I'm looking for one of my characters, and I must say, it's not you.
There we go again. Why not? And who are you?
Me? My name is Oscar Wilde. Irish playwright, poet, author, genius, and one of the Britain's first celebrities. My characters are unique, cunning, interesting, and complex. Now go. I must find Dorian.
Dorian?
Yes, my character.
This had to be the book. He was missing a character, and he was missing a book.
Can you describe him?
Very well. I'm in need for some entertainment, so I will describe Dorian for you. He is radiantly handsome, impressionable, and wealthy young gentleman. He gets a portrait taken, and it's part of the history's plot. He kills a very dear person to him. He also rejects his true love due to the influenced thoughts.
I do remember now. My name is Dorian Gray.
As he spoke, familiar scenery started to appear around both of them. One of a wealthy living room with luxuries and elegancy, and right beside him a portrait of himself. He was back in his book.
This portrait, it was made by my friend Basil. I rejected the love of my life, a woman named Sybil. Our love was true, but it broke when I rejected her. It led her to suicide, and her brother hated me for it.
Oscar became silent for a moment. Indeed, for now, in front of him stood not a simple and plain character, but his own, Dorian Gray.
It seems I misjudged you. You're my character. Now come, you have a book to live in. You more than anyone should know a story is not complete without its protagonist.
After having encountered so many troubles that day, the mysterious character, or should I say Dorian, finally was able to find his book. Of course, he had time to go back and express his thankfulness and his farewell to his little buddy that helped him and motivated him to carry on in the seeking for his book. Now, I know this is quite a particular story, and I for sure know you'll be interested to see how it ends. And if it's so, just go to the nearest library and see for yourself how Dorian carried on with his life, what he does in his book, and how well he fitted in it after all. But remember to be careful not to drop some books, as the story may repeat itself but with some other pale white, unknown, mysterious character.